It's 1978 and there has been a big breakthrough in the automobile industry in America. The Volkswagen Westmoreland Assembly Plant in New Stanton, Pennsylvania has been opened.
This marks the second non-American plant to be opened in the U.S. since Rolls-Royce in 1921.
Production of the Volkswagen is sourced in Germany, and this particular plant is projected to employ 20,000 people.
The goal of the Volkswagen and Company is to supply the American population with a small, well-made, fuel-efficient car like the Jetta Golf and Rabbit.
Volkswagen has high hopes to keep American people happy with their products and their jobs.
The 1972 Summer Olympic Games in Munich, West Germany have been interrupted by a terrible event. 11 members of the Israeli Olympic team, consisting of 6 coaches and 5 athletes, were taken hostage. Their captors are suspected to be members of a Palestinian terrorist group known as Black Septembers.
On the evening of September 5th, the terrorists broke into the Olympic compound and held the Israelis hostage through the night. During the night, 2 of the hostages were shot and killed. The following morning, the rest of the hostages were moved to a nearby airfield at the request of the terrorists. Once there, the German police tried and failed to rescue the hostages. During this attempt, all of the remaining hostages were killed, as well as 5 members of Black September. Following this tragic event, the Olympic Committee decided to continue on with the Games in honor of the victims of the Munich massacre.
Pop art is becoming the new thing of this decade. Pop art is combining popular culture with fine arts. Andy Warhol's name is becoming very popular in this decade. In the 60s, he painted popular celebrities such as Elvis and Marilyn Monroe. Now he's painted big names such as John Lennon and Diana Ross.
The Dinner Party, which is an art installation by feminist artist Judy Chicago, shows 39 historical and mythical women from across the world to now. The installation took 6 years and took over $250,000. The installation is in a triangle shape because it depicts women and it shows equality of women. The table starts first with different plates on each side, and as it goes further, they emerges to show the evolve of women over time and equality. The table also has flag utensils, napkins, symbols, and anything that depicts women accomplishments.
Hello. Today we're going to be learning about the Iranian hostage crisis. The crisis happened during the Carter administration, when at around 6:30 a.m. November 4th, 1979, the ringleaders gathered and were briefed on a plan. At first, the students' only plan was to make a symbolic occupation, but it became clear that when the guards were not going to use deadly force, the occupation changed. According to one embassy staff member, buses full of protesters began to appear outside the embassy, following the Muslim student followers. Shortly after the protesters broke through the gates, the occupants bound and blindfolded the emissary, Marines, and staff. However, 6 diplomats escaped capture by fleeing and taking refuge in the Canadian embassy. The hostage takers said that in order to return the hostages, Jimmy Carter must be removed from office, and the impact in the United States by the hostage crisis was a surge of patriotism. People believed this to be a declaration of war, a severe backlash against Iranians. 6 diplomats that had escaped to the Canadian embassy, the Canadian government secretly issued an order in council allowing Canadian passports to be issued to the American citizens so that they could escape. In cooperation with the CIA, who used the cover story of a film project, 2 CIA agents and the 6 diplomats boarded a Swiss Air flight to Zurich, Switzerland on January 28, 1980, escaping from Iran. January 20th, 1981, at the moment of Reagan completing his 20-minute inaugural address after being sworn in as president, the 52 American hostages were released by Iran into U.S. custody, having spent 444 days in captivity, which ended the Iran hostage crisis.
I'm in Richmond, Virginia, June 23rd, 1972, witnessing Hurricane Agnes. So far, 4 people drowned after their car plunged into the James River. A train heading to D.C. stopped due to flooding, leaving 537 passengers stranded. Over 600 miles of highways were submerged, resulting in millions
Malvina, and I'm speaking to you about Roe v. Wade, the recent Supreme Court decision on the issue of abortion. Abortion is the deliberate termination of a human pregnancy. The court ruled that a right to privacy under the 14th Amendment extended to a woman's decision to have an abortion. The states look to regulate abortions with protecting prenatal life and protecting women's health. The court then ruled a balancing test by tying state regulation of abortion to the trimester of a pregnancy. A balancing test is any judicial test in which the jurists weigh the importance of multiple factors in a legal case. The court later rejected Roe's trimester framework, while affirming Roe's central holding that a person has the right to abort until viability, which is the ability of a fetus to survive outside of the uterus. Viability is usually placed at about 7 months or 28 weeks, but may occur earlier, even at 24 weeks. In disallowing many state and federal restriction on abortion in the United States, Roe v. Wade prompts a national debate about issues including whether and to what extent abortion should be legal, who should decide the legality of abortion, what methods the Supreme Court should use in constitutional adjunctation, and what the role should be of religious and moral views in the political sphere. Roe v. Wade reshaped national politics, dividing much of the United States into pro-choice and pro-life camps, while activating grassroots movements on both sides. That's all for me today, and until then, peace out.